Theater proudly presents your new favorite musical.
Hi everyone, I'm Wonder Dave.
And I'm Tirumari Jothi.
Welcome to your new favorite musical by Awesome Theater. 6 artist teams are competing to have their new musical produced by Awesome Theater.
They will have to pitch their musical to our panel of judges.
Judges will reveal their choices, and whoever has 2 or more votes wins!
Because that is how math works. And over the course of the show, you're going to see my quarantine beard get even thicker.
And I will continue to have a stupid quarantine mustache. Let's meet our judges. Your esteemed panel today includes Leslie Wagoner,
Nikki Menyes,
and David Moschler.
And our contestants on this show are Color Your World by Christian Cantrell and Terry Amara Boero, and Pinball the Musical by Derek Lipton. Where you at, audience? Let's hear it.
Wow, we've got some really enthusiastic audience here today.
And now the moment you've been waiting for, folks. We're about to watch these musicals, and we'll see what the judges decide.
Will Color Your World brighten your day, or will Pinball the Musical get the high score this round? Let's find out now.
Hi, we'd like to thank you for this opportunity, not only for ourselves, but for all of the composers, lyricists, and playwrights in the Bay Area who will be pitching to you. This is really wonderful. Thank you.
I'm Christian Cantrell, and I wrote the music and lyrics to Color Your World.
And I'm Terry Amara Boero, and I wrote the book.
We wrote this musical because we really wanted to inspire the next generation of theater goers. Bringing theater and musical theater into the minds and hearts of young people is something that's really important to us, and it's going to keep the art form alive.
And we wanted to expand the frame. Our leads are 2 females. It's not based on a romance. Many of our roles are non-gender specific, and also we have a gender fluid role as well. Those are issues that are really important to us.
Our show comes in 2 acts, and it's quite similar to what you might find in Sunday in the Park with George or Into the Woods, where we started with a children's musical in the first act with themes that were really relevant to young people and the issues that they face. But as we kept writing, we found that young adults and adults took interest into the subject material as well. So we have a darker, more adult-centered second act.
Yes, so our first act, I'm going to let Christian explain.
So our first act is about Natalia. She's a young girl, she moves to a new town, and she doesn't have any friends, she doesn't know anybody, and she has a lot of empty days. But with the power of her imagination, who's played by Gigi, and the colors, she finds how to bring some color back into her world. She goes on a giant adventure, saves someone from being drowned off of a pirate ship, and even confronts a bully.
And then the second act takes us 25 years later. And our protagonist, Natalia, has, well, unfortunately, she's lost her color. And the world is really gray, and she can barely get through her days. There's going to be a 10-year reunion at her college, and she's afraid to go. She feels she has nothing to say, nothing to contribute. And it's when her friends come back, and they're played by the colors and Gigi, that they help her. They remind her of all the things she used to do and all the colors she used to have. And through their own memories and also their own struggles, they inspire Natalia to change, to add color to her life, to believe in herself and take heart. And that's how we end it, with Natalia bringing back color into her life.
That you can color your world. It's your day to play. You can color your way. The world is your paper. Your mind is your pen. Think of what you want to see and draw again. Clear
Case Western University Class of 2010 10th Year Reunion, November 15th. See your old classmates, catch up with friends, register today. So I'll just keep going one day at a time. I'll stick to my routine and my uphill climb. I was always told with perseverance I'd get to do the things I always wanted to, but till then I go. Get into my day-to-day and live the life that I created. Start another day just like every other day in Cleveland, Ohio. So I'll just try to think a happy thought. That's what I always say to get my troubles away. And maybe it's just fate or written in the stars, but I'll just have to wait and see if that is true. So I gotta go. I long for something more, but I am really just not sure. And so I'll start another day just like every other day, and start another day just like every other day, and start another day just like every other day. And hey everyone, I'm coming to the reunion. Ryan. Shit. Cleveland, Ohio. Oh, hi, Lily.
Nats, did you get the group text about the reunion? What's going on? Give me some words. You're worse than the first graders. They may not read, but they know how to use their words.
Look at me. What have I done with my life? How can I face all of my old friends?
Hey, don't freak out. It's kind of got me on edge too. 10 years and we're supposed to be settled, married, homeowners, careers, children. It's crazy making. Don't let it get to you. You need a pep talk. I gave myself one today. Yes, I did, and it helped.
Just put some pep in your step, even if you're not prepped. You will feel better if you try it, trust I'm correct. I won't do you wrong, that's the point of my song. Just do it once and soon enough you will sing along. It's about pep in your step. You'll sing every note correct. Think happily, let me, you'll see. Get up and try it. Get up off your butt. Let's show the world you don't suck. Just sing with me and you will see what you really need. Some pep in your step.
We all have troubles. I bet half the people at the reunion are in the same boat. The thing is to keep going and not get overwhelmed. Come on, Allie and Carlos are going to meet us at the pizza place. They're saving us a spot.
I'm not going. Look at me. How can I see Ryan? How can I let him see me? What's with your brain? Don't you remember?
Oh, sorry, sweetie, I forgot. Guess I've been teaching the wee people too long. My memory's going.
Not funny.
Who can remember college? It's a vast empty hole that ended too long ago for you to freak out about an ancient romance that lasted, what, 6 months?
It's easy for you to say. Never dated in college. Oh, I didn't mean that.
Yeah, you did. I'm going to be the grown-up and let it slide. Nats, you haven't been yourself. I've known you since we were 7 years old, and you've always had such a bounce. Remember when we used to play pirate ship? You had such fun ideas. What an imagination. I've been your friend for almost 25 years, and we've had a few ups and downs, and we've always managed to weather the storms together. But this latest storm has me puzzled. It seems like you're adrift, and the only one on the raft is you. Stop pushing your friends off. We'll save a spot for you in case you change your mind.
This is a taste of the second act. We have 10 songs in Act 2.
19 vocal numbers in the whole show.
At the end of Act 2, the colors return and help Natalia remember who she was with a reprise of Color Your World.
Natalia realizes she can still pick up her dream and begin the rest of her life. In the final song, Chapter 1.
We wrote this musical because we believe dreams can come true.
The world is in such an isolated and volatile spot right now, and we want to remind people to stay strong.
To be brave and keep a happy thought.
And don't forget, it's about pep in your step. You'll sing every note correct. Think happily like me, you'll see. Get up and try it. Get up off your butt. Let's show the world you don't suck. Just sing with me and you will see what you really need. Some pep in your step.
Well, Tirumari, we just saw Color Your World. How are you feeling about this?
I thought it was really interesting. I didn't know that this was even a concept because I don't see color, so...
That's fun because I enjoy singing upbeat songs even though I'm depressed all the time. Let's hear what the judges have to say.
Thank you so much, Color Your World. What a sweet play. What a sweet musical. I think that that's really it. It's really, really sweet. I think it's a beautiful story, and it's particularly thinking of young audiences being able to use color and reality as a metaphor for wellness and mental health. That's something very near and dear to my heart. So I think that this would be a lovely piece for young audiences to be able to hold on to that and take that lesson. I wonder though, whether they would still be following along when we're introduced to a more mature version of our main character. It makes me wonder who exactly this show is for, just because there doesn't feel to me a maturity in the music that might color that in a little bit. Sorry to use that, couldn't think of anything else. Yeah, I wonder at whether you'd want to make sure Act 2 with a more mature main character is still for young audiences, or if you want a little bit of something for everyone, or if it's meant to be like an adult audience following the growth of this person and being able to land in Act 2 in the same place as your main character. So yeah, I think the pep of the music you showcased was really wonderful. I think that it is strong in its backbone of classic musical theater, and I think also I wish it was a little more variant. Still very beautiful, still very sweet, and I look forward to where it goes and what happens to it.
Oh, that was really sincere. I don't know how to feel about that.
Sincerity is poison. I agree.
Okay, let's see, my first reaction to Color Your World. Producibility. Seems pretty producible, not a gigantic cast. Not necessarily a terribly difficult or complex score. Story is straightforward. Doesn't seem to require too many technical aspects, so I rate this pretty highly on the producibility end. Musicality. It's slightly less strong for me. It seems the music is fine. Nothing about it really stands out or it sounds particularly unique. Not necessarily bad or pedantic, but just leaves me wanting more. And in that vein, I would say that the lyrics are sort of similar. Some of them seem great, very sort of taken from traditional musical theater, but at certain times the text setting, at least as I heard in the examples, could have been a little bit stronger. And yeah, so that's my thoughts on music and lyrics. Story, very genuine, very earnest, great, much needed today. There's a sweetness to it that I love, and I think, yeah, the story itself is solid. And I love the blending of both sort of fantastical and imaginative versus real life. Narrative and music together, again, I think the story is probably a little stronger than the music, but I could see how they fit together. You have spaces for the traditional songs.
Yes. Sure.
All right, Color Your World. I think that it's a really powerful visual language you've created, especially with the characters and how the performers can switch back and forth, or will switch back and forth between playing characters that are these sort of nebulous ideas, colors, and human people. I also love how you've baked in what you mentioned about casting. You've baked that into your concept, and so you've taken out all of the guesswork for casting people, artistic directors, and directors as far as truly open-minded casting goes. I love that. Thank you. The music is beautiful. It's very rich and lush. If I had any notes about the music, it would be that I was looking for maybe a little bit more of a modern sound, since it's a modern story. But maybe that's in there, and that's present in some of the songs we didn't get a chance to delve into. But if there's any notes, it would just be that. And then speaking of story, I was looking for maybe higher stakes. Again, maybe that's in there and I'm not aware, just from the snippets we got to see. But since you've created this world that's pretty open-ended and how people interact, or characters interact with each other, it just leaves a huge potential for hiking up those stakes in some fun places. Just a thought. I'm thinking about this through the lens of potentially being a musical for young audiences. Maybe that's not quite an issue, having those higher stakes, but thinking about an adult audience, since it's a story centering around Natasha, who's technically an adult, I don't know, maybe a chance to raise those stakes. I think production-wise, there's potential for big impact. The overarching theme of imagination, it really does leave a big door open for creative ways of staging, creative integration of tech, and that's great because it means it's accessible to all different sorts of budgets and all those different sorts of companies. Thanks.
Sounds like the judges really enjoyed that one. Coming up next, we've got Pinball the Musical. Tirumari, do you know anything about pinball?
I know that it goes really well with beer. Yeah.
That makes sense. Here's Pinball the Musical.
They say life's just a game, and we're all playing it. But what if there's something more? Something worth playing for? The hum of the land and the lights up above, they give me rhythm and they show me love. I can see there's something in this game for me. I was never meant to be the one to get it done, no siree. Ace Bruce was number one, Duke was number two, I'm just number three. But now I know my time has come to see if this game can be won by this third son. And even though I plunge into this world under glass, I feel I've been here before, and this won't be my last foray. But for now I only have today, so make way, let's play.
Hi, my name is Derek Lipkin, and I am here to present to you all what I believe to be the next greatest musical. And that musical is Pinball the Musical. I am a 33-year-old attorney working and living in San Francisco, California. I am actually a world-ranked pinball player, and I have loved being involved in pinball. It has been such a great community, and it has really become a central part of my hobby life. I'm sitting right in front of two pinball machines that I own, and I've stumbled upon a perfect nexus between something that I love in my day-to-day hobby and something that I love ongoing for my entire life, which is music, and in particular Broadway musical. You think you've already seen pinball on Broadway with the classic by The Who, Tommy. I'm telling you, this is way beyond that. That was about people playing pinball. This is about being pinball. Under the glass, inside a pinball machine, with a cast of characters you're gonna be so delighted to meet. First, we have our protagonist, Trey. He is the third of three balls. His siblings, Ace and Duke, are usually the go-getters of the pack. But in their attempts to defend their land, they have both been locked up by the evil Jackpot. So now it's up to lowly Trey to rise to the occasion, to save his brothers, to save the points of the land, and defeat the evil Jackpot. Now along the way, he's gonna meet quite the cast of characters, including the Bumper Brothers. And you're gonna wanna hear what the Bumper Brothers sound like right now.
Now, here's a little story I got to tell about three bad brothers you know so well. It started when we got electricity with Thumper, Jet, and Turbo. That's three. We the Bumper Brothers and we like to smash on any flippin' citizen who comes to pass. In the vicinity, got an affinity. We're not kidding to see you, we're ready to snap. Yo, my mama call me Turbo, you can call me Big T. Come into my space, that's a bad idea. When I come to see ya, you were wishing we was not about to beat ya. Better take a seat, bruh. If you come around, we get so annoying. No respect, so we flex all so annoying. Knocking and rocking you into oblivion. You don't wanna rumble with the Bumper, so avoid. Well, so far it looks like you really don't get it. Jackpot told us if you wanna store something, dead it. This'll just take a second, yo, we're ready to wreck it. We got to take the bigger the heck with the littlest effort. Even if you kiss the ring today, ain't for no favors. Come get a taste of pain, it comes in three flavors. So better savor these moments and pray to the Savior to save ya. We three brothers about to break ya.
That is just a taste of what you're gonna get with Pinball the Musical. We've got classic Broadway standards, we've got hip hop, we've got pinball. I am so excited to bring this vision to you all, to show you the life under the glass in a pinball machine, all the visual elements that are gonna go into this show. You have the costumes. What are we gonna make our characters look like? Dressed as a ball, adorned with LED lights. There is so much that visually happens in a pinball machine that we wanna recreate on the stage. Ramps, lights, all sorts of sounds. The essence of pinball is going to be captured by these performances, by this musical, all in one.
Can I give you a little feedback?
Sure.
Don't sell the crazy set so much. It makes it sound expensive.
Okay.
I'm serious. Like, it just sounds really expensive. I would say focus on the story and the music. When you were telling me, when you were like, I'm gonna do Pinball the Musical, and I was like, you're gonna do what now? Does that make sense? I was like waiting for you to say that, like during your whole time of like talking about how like great pinball is. I'm like, yeah, it's great, but like, it's fine. I'm not gonna cut you off or anything. You're all set up. Take your time. Do what you need to do.
It's a classic hero's journey, totally reimagined in a way that no one has done. Frankly, the only comparable instance of that is the cartoon show Reboot. I am so passionate about pinball, and I am so excited to bring that passion to the stage, to combine it with two of my favorite musical
I'm sorry, I broke you.
Broke me, woman! I am so excited to bring my passion for pinball to the stage. I want to combine it with two of my passions in music, Broadway and hip hop. Truly, this is going to be Hamilpin. What else?
Folks, I want to thank you for watching this presentation. We've had a lot of fun today, and maybe even a few laughs, mostly at my expense. But all jokes aside, I want you to know that I believe in Pinball the Musical. Let me be absolutely clear. This is not a parody, and it's not half-baked. It's the real deal. When I close my eyes, I see this show in all of its colorful glory. I see the audiences mesmerized by the music, captivated by the story, and connecting with the journey. And that's because that's what pinball's all about. Conceived as a diversion for the masses, pinball is not just a fun few minutes, but drama, comedy, and action all rolled into one. And its community of devotees has been growing steadily in the last few years. Pinball attracts people from all walks of life, all socioeconomic backgrounds, all colors and creeds. And beyond its mass appeal, this show has the ability to morph to fit any cast that might want to play it. Pinballs have no skin color, no gender. While I used male pronouns and references earlier, those were just extemporaneous shorthand. What is true is that, like a pinball itself, this show will reflect the world around it. So, once Pinball the Musical comes to life, hopefully with your help, I want it to be a work of art that all actors can enjoy performing and aspire to play in any role. This show will transport you to a new place. This show will connect with its audience, and this show will have the music that will stay in the hearts of the audience long after they exit the theater. I thank you for your time and consideration of Pinball the Musical. Good night.
Let's play.
That was Pinball the Musical. Tirumari, what did you think?
Oh, I thought it was pintastic. Nope. Pincher perfect. Nope. The pinnacle of pinball-related media.
Let's hear what the judges had to say.
Whoa. I would say I'm mesmerized. Yeah, I would agree with that descriptor. It's so interesting. The concept of it, to be pinball, I mean, definitely not something I've thought of before. I think I'm so curious as to how, like, what that world is like. I want to know more. And I think also the snippets of music that were shared just through this pitch just show so much range, genre bending, if you will, and really dynamic, very specific storytelling to pick and to choose and to flow with the story what kinds of music are helping tell it. I think as a director, I'm fascinated as to how this would be produced. I certainly have questions about producibility, but as someone whose job it is to like build worlds and deconstruct things and reconstruct things, it just tickles my creative muscles to try to imagine what the inside of a pinball machine looks like, and what it feels like and sounds like. Besides that, I think really strong pitch. Just shout out to a very well done pitch video and video editing. Also, your wife knows what's up.
Let's keep this train a-rolling.
Okay, so my reaction to Pinball the Musical. Wow, first of all, really unique. Wasn't expecting that. Let's go through the criteria. Producibility. This one seems either potentially really challenging or really, again, unique. It could be pared down, but it might require like a ton of technical theater and effects and costumes and lights and sound and set and music and who knows. Could be done very simply, but producibility seems difficult to judge right now based on where it's at, or at least the pitch that I heard. Musicality. I will say with the opening bit of music that I heard, it was difficult to gauge, kind of hard to tell. Not so interesting. But then when he came in with the Beastie Boys homage, the parody, whatever you want to call it, pastiche, it was really interesting. I gotta say, it was really funny. It was really cool, and I think there's a lot of potential there, specifically for that music and for the lyric writing for any of the hip hop songs. Story-wise, I think this is its biggest ding for me. It has the potential to be really cool, but right now it just seems not half-baked, but again, there's potential there, but I'm not so sure. I think that's its biggest, it's the weakest link. Music and story combined, again, very strong potential there, but it depends on if the story is going to be guiding the music or the music's going to guide the story and how good the other one is. So if the music's guiding the story, possibly a bit more potential there, but it's really hard to say. So, but interesting.
Okay, no dead air. We'll just let that sit where it is, and then we'll keep on going.
All right, Pinball the Musical. So, I happen to be a big fan of pinball. That won't be clouding my judgment here, but it does give me an advantage into knowing what the setting is, the inner workings of a machine. So, first of all, I wanted to hear more about the characters and the central conflict, as well as secondary conflicts. Those are most important to me as an audience member, as well as an arts maker. The music, I think, is really potentially really fun and eclectic and shows a broad range, which is great, and potential for some fusion of musical styles. I love that. Audiences love that. So yeah, like I said, story-wise, really great potential. Just want more conflict. And I would love for that conflict and those characters to rise to the top a little more within the story in the way it's presented. There's great fun ways to make that happen with this kind of setting and this kind of world you've created. Because if you think about the actions and verbs in pinball, they're super active, like drain and trap and lock. They conjure up really clear images and gives us great potential for action in the story, as well as movement, I should say. And I'm thinking about that as a choreographer, of course. Always looking for ways to get people moving. Producibility, I think there's super potential here. And not just for the purposes of this, your new favorite musical, but for all sorts of companies and spaces and all different kinds of budgets, really. Because, and I know your wife mentioned, shut up about the set, and she's right. But also, I'm glad you brought it up because, you might have these grand ideas and grand ways to integrate tech, but there are really clever ways, I think, potentially clever ways to get around those, let's face it, possibly expensive ideas. And leaning into that sort of grassroots or DIY look and feel and construction, I think could really be to your benefit. Thanks.
All right, folks, you've seen both musicals. You've made your own thoughts and your own decisions, but the judges are going to be the ones who decide. So let's go over to them and see what their final scores are.
Will Color Your World brighten your day, or will Pinball the Musical get the high score this round? Let's find out now.
I choose for my round one winner, Pinball the Musical.
I choose... Pinball.
I choose Pinball the Musical.
And that's a clean sweep for Pinball the Musical.
Alright, looks like that's a win for a game that pretty much exemplifies my anxiety in real life, but also a great musical. But let's hear it one more time for Color Your World.
Thanks to all of the artists and judges who participated in this round of Your New Favorite Musical.
And most importantly, thank you to us for hosting.
We are pretty great. You're right.
And also, thanks to my quarantine beard for keeping my mouth warm and uncomfortable, maybe a little dry, because you can't wear a beard under a mask, I've been finding out. Real talk, if you really want to see what new musicals are coming out soon,
we'll be premiering round 2 on August 13th, so stay tuned.